He was being led out of court. Naziah's relatives just couldn't hold back their emotion. Take a listen.
Do the right thing and tell us where she's at, please. I'm sorry, Judge. Just do it, Jarvis. Where is she at, Jarvis? Just tell us.
Shawn Ley was in that courtroom as the judge delivered her ruling. Sean, this hearing, it took days.
Took days. Every moment, Kimberly, was so hard to listen to for everyone in that courtroom, including the judge, and she moments ago just had her final say on all of this. Take a listen.
We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on Naziah and went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up.
36th District Court Judge Aaliyah Sabri with the final words for Jarvis Butts as she ruled that Butts will now go on trial for the brutal sexual assaults and murder of 13-year-old Naziah Harris, who disappeared exactly 1 year ago today.
You groomed Naziah. You played mind games with her. We all heard that. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed to so much at such a young age. The text messages between you two were disgusting to hear.
The teen's body has never been found. A mountain of evidence presented over 4 days at this preliminary hearing. The judge saying it seemed that no one looked out for Naziah.
Naziah deserves so much more. And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you were the monster in this whole picture.
Back here live, you can hear Judge Sabri saying, Butts, you're the monster in this, but she also listed off some family members. She was wondering where they were in all this, why they didn't notice what was happening, or if they did, why didn't they step in? Bottom line here, Butts now moves to a murder trial. January 16th is the first date here. Family pointing to that as perhaps the first date to perhaps moving towards some kind of justice for this teenage girl. We're live downtown. Shawn Ley, Local 4, back to you.
Charged in the killing of 13-year-old Naziah Harris will stand trial. Charged in the killing.
So, of course, I mean, like, realistically, I'm not going to lie to you. When I first heard this story, so a homegirl and I was sending, you know, she's just trying to have, like, conversation, like, hey, what's your thoughts on it, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, of course, you're just your original thought pattern. And I'm sure even realistically now why people are even calling out the aunt and the grandma, like, where was the family at? And then the crazy thing is, like, you sitting here charging this dude with murder, and I'm kind of, maybe because you watch too much TV sometimes, I'm like, damn, what if this girl really not dead, though? How do you, it's kind of because, like, of course, I don't even think she only been missing for like a year. And I think they sit here trying to say that he killed her because they feel like he got her pregnant. But I'm like, what if he just stashed her away somewhere and didn't want her to pop back out until she old enough where he can't get charged? Like, I don't necessarily know. So it's like, how you charge somebody with murder because they don't even have a body yet. Like, there's nobody. Like, they don't have nobody for this girl. So I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Like, you don't even necessarily, like, what if she's really not dead and she's still just out here missing somewhere?
I don't know, because I seen another one where they like was reading the text messages, and then just like even the text messages between the guy and the girl was just like it was OC, and I think
for sure, but that's
no, but I don't know if this the same case out because I want to say that I think the girl was a younger or whatever that I saw, and you know like the back and forth is just like well, I'm gonna leave this door open, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. I think like. You know a certain person, it's like, all right, yeah, I trust you. You around the kid. Like, I'm not paying to no man.
Well, no, because he was arrested before for sexually assaulting young girls. I want to say his own daughter. But like, they knew he was a sex offender. I knew he was a sex offender, and she still brought him
they
in the
knew
house.
that. See, I don't. Okay, see, because it might be another case.
Just real quick, just because it's this young lady. I mean, I played her on here before when she was breaking down a Lil Durk's case, and this is one of the reasons why I just like TikTok, because you find somebody, her saying that she always started off like, hey, I'm not a lawyer. I think she really is a lawyer because the way she be breaking down a lot of these jumps, she'd go a little bit more into detail with it. What the fuck?
I'm not a lawyer, but I am a mother, and there is a case out of Detroit that has absolutely broken my heart. Let me tell you everything you need to know about why this man has been charged with the death of this 13-year-old little girl. And yes, it's what you're thinking. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that this is a circumstantial case. There's no body, no weapon, and no eyewitness.
Correct.
It says that the cause of death remains unknown, which, Judge, obviously Ms. Quake is getting to one of the main issues in this case and one of the big questions in this case that I anticipate is going to be a defense argument.
We all know that that's one of the big issues here in this case. So I will.
Just
like
real
in the
quick,
message, it was like she wanted to get an abortion, or
yeah.
whatever.
So that was basically what they were trying to say.
So that was
the same case.
I think I just saw the text. I just think I just saw the text.
So realistically, for people, just a little bit backstory. I'm gonna let this lady play too, because I think she do a great job at breaking it down. But that is just my only thing with it. Of course, like I said, sometimes that's why too much TV can be bad for you, because in my maybe again watching too many of those finding missing people shows or them type of jumps, like you see so many people that kind of be like they go missing and then somebody end up finding them, or they end up like they didn't stash this girl away somewhere. Like nobody don't know, because like you see here charging somebody with murder, there ain't nobody, it ain't no weapon. Like, and let's be clear, this dude, if he is guilty, then he should do life in prison. But I think the grandmother, the aunt, and all of them should be still like, how we just pinning it on this one dude, and y'all just kind of let him get so cozy with this little girl, and y'all just allowed him to even build some type of bond or relationship with her. Like, everybody in this situation is dead wrong, dog.
See, and that's why I say I think, because like I saw the text messages and how she was just like, I think the last what's name, she was like, well, I'm about to leave school, let me know. I'm not, no, she deleting it, like she deleting the text messages between them. She's like, answer me, say okay, so I could delete this message so nobody know.
I mean, but again,
so
like, I'm gonna play it out more, because this lady go into way more details.
Admitted with your objection noted.
Little bit of context to set you up. This is Naziah Harris. And in 2024, which is the year she went missing, she was living with her grandmother, Annette Harris, her aunt, Shannon Harris, and her aunt Shannon's 5 children. Naziah's biological mother was not in her life.
Now, you are Naziah's maternal grandmother, right?
And just real quick, can I have not said nothing gay all episode, so please pause, no Diddy. Let me just get this out real quick, because I have to. Dog, if you look, it's no way, again, it's something wrong with this nigga, and I know that he probably did do something to this little girl. Because, dog, have y'all seen this aunt? This aunt is ugly as shit. And this is a nice looking dude. Pause, no homo. Nigga, if you look at that aunt and look at this nigga, you know that this nigga is leeching off of this woman for some wild reason. Like this woman, if these two,
so when he was living with the aunt,
I don't know how I'm gonna, like I said, I don't necessarily know. I'm gonna play the rest of it, but I'm telling you, if I'm just going off of the eye test, I'm looking at this man and this woman. And ain't no way in hell you telling me that this man is with this woman just off the strength of that he think that she's like, this is a catch for him. You seen the woman in the man, Eric? Am I off or am I on point?
No, you on point.
I'm gonna put a cap on you. Compliments a myth.
Man, nigga, I gotta paint the picture for people who ain't seen it, or people just like living like you blind to what I'm looking at. Cause I'm looking at a woman that's be like, she look like a goddamn bulldog if I'm keeping it a buck. And this nigga look like somebody who used to be in Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Correct.
You're also her adopted parent, correct?
Correct.
And you said you adopted her in 2016?
Yeah.
Is her birth mother still around?
She is.
Okay. Does she have a relationship with her?
No.
She doesn't have any type of relationship, no contact with her that you know of?
Well, let me say this. I don't deal with my daughter, so she really didn't have no contact with Naziah like that. She only came around now and then.
Now, the father of Aunt Shannon's 5 children is this man, 41-year-old Jarvis Ramon Butts.
Do you have any children?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
5.
And do all your kids have the same dad?
Yes.
Who's their dad?
Jarvis Butts.
Jarvis has apparently like 13 kids. He works as a mechanic and he owns an auto body shop with this man whose name is Cordell Wright, aka King. And this body shop that the two own and work at is not too far from where Naziah lives with her grandmother. Police say that on January 9th, 2023, Naziah gets off her school bus, but instead of heading home to her grandmother's house, she instead heads toward Jarvis's shop.
It is January 9th, 2024, 2:54 p.m.
Now, before she reaches the shop, Jarvis and King see her as they are on their way back from picking up a part from the auto store.
On our way back from AutoZone, I believe we forgot something. So we ended up turning back around, going back to AutoZone, grabbed whatever we forgot, came back. And on our way back, we was coming down Harper. Jarvis said, I see my niece right there, she walking. We pulled into Angel's liquor store. I still didn't see her. He pointed across my face, said she right there. She was coming across the street at that time. She got in the truck with us. She spoke, Hi King, Hi Jay, and we proceeded back to the shop. We started working on the Jaguar, putting the parts back on.
Now, multiple people testify about seeing a little girl with Jarvis on January 9th, the day she went missing, including Jarvis's own sister, who brought her car up to the shop that day.
And what's the reason that you went and talked to Detroit police?
I had reason to believe that I saw Naziah the day she went missing.
Okay. From the very beginning, where is it that you think you saw Naziah?
At the shop on Harper Encounters.
Okay, and whose shop is that?
My brother Jarvis Butts and his partner.
What's the reason you were at your brother's shop that day?
Something was wrong with the car that I was driving, and I just needed him to check it out to make sure it was safe for me to drive.
Okay. Do you recall about what time did you go to Jarvis's shop that day?
About 4 p.m., give or take a few minutes. So I was sitting outside of the shop in my car because they were working on another car on the inside. As I sat there for the time that I was there, I kept seeing a little girl get in and out of his truck, going to the gas station and going back to his car.
Do you get a look at this little girl that you see getting in and out of his car?
I saw her as she was walking. I never saw her face. I just remember her having on a colorful jacket.
Did you know who this little girl was at the time?
No.
And did you ever ask Jarvis who the little girl was?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
He told me, and I can't remember if it was this exact word, or he said it's my partner's niece, or he said it was King's niece.
Okay, but you knew who he was referring to?
Yes.
Okay. Did you think anything of it at the time?
No.
Okay. Okay, and what is it that made you think something different?
I received phone call, a video call from one of his kids' mom. She told me about some things that happened on Valentine's Day, and then she sent me a video of a podcast about my brother.
So, based on those, do you go and talk to someone else?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you go and talk to?
His partner, King.
Okay.
After I mentioned to him that I had only saw my nieces and one particular little girl, he then told me that that was Naziah that I saw that day, and I was there.
So what is it that you did after speaking with King that day?
I called Shannon Harris and I asked her for Sergeant Jones' phone number.
Okay. And
Whew. So again, January 9th is the last time that anyone's seen or heard from Naziah, and Jarvis is the last person that she is confirmed to have been with. Which leads me to the second thing that you need to know about this case, and that is, while the case is circumstantial, the circumstances are pretty strong. This picture of Naziah was taken the day that she went missing. And pay attention to her glasses because it turns out Jarvis asked one of the mother of his children if he could borrow her car. But when he returned it, he left something in there.
when is it that Mr. Butts borrowed your vehicle?
January 9th. He called and asked if he can use my car to do something with his son. I didn't get home till about 9 o'clock, and he came to my house to pick my car up.
Is that 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.? When did Mr. Butts return with your car?
The next morning.
Was this normal, abnormal?
No, not normal.
Not normal? Okay. Did you notice anything in the back seat that was different?
There was a pair of glasses that was left that my son was playing with at the time. I believe they were clear around the frame part. I don't know what the ends look like, but I do remember they were clear around the frames.
Okay. So you're at the shop. You see your son playing with the glasses. You take them from him. Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Now, tell me, what does Jarvis do?
He snatched them from me and said those were his sunglasses.
Okay.
Police also looked into Jarvis's phone location data to track his whereabouts and conduct some searches along those lines to see if they can find anything connected to Naziah. And they did.
As we did our workup and we're looking at different locations that Mr. Butts had been to, as we start breaking down the phone mapping a little bit more on Mr. Butts' phone, it kind of led us to 7 Mile and Berg. So 7 Mile and Berg, there is, it used to be a golf course, which is now shut down. And then on the other side of Berg, there's a parking lot where it has like a vacant building, which used to be the clubhouse or the golf club. And then right behind that parking lot is the Rouge River. We searched the complete river from 8 Mile all the way down past 96 on foot with cadaver dogs, in boats, in the water.
What evidence did you find?
We collected a pink jumpsuit, like bodysuit style, and then a black hoodie that had a pair of white headphones in one of the pockets, some gloves, a towel, and a pair of red, black, and white gym shoes. That is one of the black, red, and white gym shoes that we collected from the wooded area. That is the black jacket that was collected. It is towards the front of the photograph, kind of behind that tree branch. So yes, that is the paper and the pair of headphones that was recovered from that pocket. So that's going to be the hood of that hooded jacket. We noted that there are several holes in the jacket of unknown origin. That is the pink jumpsuit that we recovered.
So how close was the Rouge River, I guess, to the area that you were searching?
So there was a large parking lot just off of the...
All right, I mean, that's enough for me because this shit about to piss me off. I've been already pissed me off. And I kind of just, this was me watching this stuff in real time because I kind of just been putting it off because just as an adult, it make you have so many different emotions where it's like, this dude is a piece of trash, just period, just in general. But then it kind of just be like, how many other people failed this little girl before it even got to this? Because it's just like, for one, for her to even have that type of relationship and it's just that comfortable with just like, even we talking about bad choice of just like women judging or picking men is like, even off the strength, like you already having 5 kids with a nigga who already got, what they say, he think he got like 13 kids. So it's like you constantly, you just even bringing that type of person around your niece to me is just crazy. And some people may be like, oh, how you judge somebody off of how many kids they had? Like, bro, we talking about just judging people off of character. And it just seemed like everybody was kind of just blind to what was just really going on. And then it's like, damn, it ain't nobody, it's no nothing. I'm still to the point where it's like, damn, I've never even heard of like, she only been missing for a year. I mean, a year, of course, is way too long. But then it's like, she don't even really got nobody that's gonna crash out for her because it's like, I'm sure the grandmother feel like some type of way, but it's your daughter's fault. And then it's like the real mother don't have no type of relations with this little girl, ain't in her life. Obviously, I'm sure the father not there neither. So it's just kind of like everybody literally just failed this little girl even up to this day where it's like, bro, it's just a bunch of like you just was like super neglected to this little girl, and it's just like you let it go that far. Like you let it go to the point where it was just like, man, come on, dog. Like why did she even got his number to even send texts? Like why the fuck was there even that line of communication? And you know it had to be foul because you talking about this is his sister, the lady on the joint, his blood sister on the stand, and she breaking up in tears, even basically because she probably feel some type of blame. Like I seen it, but even just sitting here saying like this is your blood brother. And she like, who's this little girl? And you supposed to have 5 kids by, you sitting here saying he had 5 kids by this girl's aunt. How do you never seen this little girl before? How you don't know? This is your sister. She don't know who this little girl is? Like that to me is just like that. Some of that shit just don't make no sense. Like how you don't know who this little girl is, but this is basically damn near almost like a niece, daughter. They all live in the same house to your brother's baby mother of 5 kids. Like, bro, that shit just seemed like such a nasty thing. And one shout out to Skilla Baby, and he's saying he want to pay for, the funeral. I'm like, how you even have a funeral for somebody with nobody? Again, like I don't even want them because I feel like at this point you kind of y'all almost giving up on her again because it's like you ain't even still looking for her. Like you don't have a body, you don't necessarily know she even dead, but y'all completely just I'm done. Like you ain't even. Like you charging somebody, but you ain't even got a body. Like you basically just giving up on me. Like that shit's sad, dog. Like, and it's so disgusting because it's just like, damn, like you literally like it's somebody who I'm sure every day is born into one of these situations because it's just like you can't pick the family you born into, and she was kind of just born into a piece of shit family where it's like her real mother didn't want her. Now you kind of just dumping her off to her grandmother who basically probably got to deal with one of her daughters who got 5 fucking kids by some bum at. Like, man, that shit just, man, that whole story just fucked up. But shout out to Skilla Baby for even trying to, for I guess me, because he trying to do something like you feel like, hey, I'm doing something right, but it's still just like, damn, dog, like, man, everybody and their mother just did her dirty. Like, that shit trifling, man. Let me try to lighten the mood and find